What is going on, everybody? Welcome to tonight's special edition of Neptjun's News. We are excited to dive in to talk about qualifiers. The time has come. I know there are so many of you that are eagerly awaiting the news of what's to come. These qualifiers are going to be a bit different than the qualifiers that we had a little bit earlier on. We've spent a bit more time putting them together and trying to figure out how to make them run as smooth as possible. And the team and I think we've come up with a pretty good solution. So what are these qualifiers about? Well, these are the summer qualifiers of 2020, which are leading into our fall season. Now, the fall season here at Aquatik is expected to be one of the biggest and the best, right? This last season, we've been doing a lot of testing. We've been trying to figure things out. We've ran a few community tournaments. We've ran some actual tournaments, and we've kind of had a good mix of plays all across the board. And it's been a good point for us to figure out what the community wants, what works, what doesn't work. And now moving into the fall season is when all of the action and all the hard work of both the players, our coaches, our moderators really come into play. Some of you may have heard me talking about some of the deals and contracts that we've been working here at Aquatic Esports, and a lot of that is coming to fruition here in the fall season. We've been working with some big brands, and these aren't sponsors, these are just partners of ours who we're going to be working with on their channels, on our channels, on all sorts of different places to get content out there and to get your plays consumed by the general public. And so we are more than excited to get this next round of qualifiers underway so we can really flesh out those teams. Now, of course, some of you have been putting great plays into our Fire Plays channel, and understand that our team has been viewing those Fire Plays. But we also need to mix that up with a little bit of real-time action, and boy, do we have some real-time action in store. Now, last time that we went through qualifiers, we did the entirety in 1 week, and it was crazy. right? There was all sorts of things going on. We were streaming onto Discord. We had multiple games every single day, sometimes in a night. And the whole experience was, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. But we still got some really great players that we've started to blend into the community and that have been putting in some time, that have been playing in community games. Some have stuck with us, and we can't wait to see them in this fall season when things really have come to fruition. Now, this time around, we are going to be streaming over an entire month. Right? So this whole process is going to take about a month, and we've broken this down into multiple days. And I'm going to pull up the schedule in just 1 second so you know exactly what games are happening on what days throughout the month of September. Now, they are actually starting this week. Tonight is the start of qualifiers. We're doing a great show to talk about all that's coming on, and then Wednesday is when we really kick into action with our first game. And again, I'll be pulling up a calendar in just one moment to talk about that breakdown. And you know what? Why wait? Let me get that fired up here. Just 1 second. I will get that going. Hey, Riptide, can you give me a little image over here on the right side so I can show off what's going on? Yeah. Alrighty, y'all. So this is the Aquatic Qualifiers that you may see sitting over here off to my side. You may or may not, depending on what type of device you're on. If you're on a cell phone, it's probably a little tiny. So I will talk a bit about what's going on here. Let me see if I can make this any larger for some of y'all anyways. Look at that. I've made it a bit bigger. It's a bit bigger there. Now, a couple things. On the 26th of August, we are diving in to Rainbow Six Siege qualifiers. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's this Wednesday. Friday, the 28th, we're diving into Valorant at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. September 4th, which means we're moving on to the next week, on Friday, we're diving into Call of Duty, again, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then on Saturday, Overwatch at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bet you can guess why we're doing it Eastern Standard Time. It just so happens that we're here in our lovely home headquarters in Florida. On September 9th, which I believe is Wednesday of that week, we are diving into Paladins at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Rocket League on Friday at 7 p.m., followed by League of Legends that Saturday at 11 a.m. Then the next week, we have Apex, Fortnite, and Warzone, all at 7 o'clock on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So guys, that is a great breakdown of what the next couple of weeks are going to look like here at Aquatic Esports. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, Neptune, this looks great. Those are some fantastic days. But I'm also excited about all the other tournaments that you all have been doing here at Aquatic Esports. Well, some of those tournaments are being put on hold during our qualifiers. Some of them are still going to be live fire. We even have a special holiday tournament that's coming up around that weekend of the 9th, give or take. So we'll have more information posted about that in our Discord as well as our Instagram, because we want all of you to still be able to earn some money playing games as we progress through the coming months. So I'm very excited to pass on more information about that through the Discord as well as Instagram and now Twitter over the coming weeks. But again, y'all, this right here is our schedule of events. You'll be able to find this in the Discord tonight once we have wrapped up with the stream. So again, Rainbow Six, Valorant, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Paladin, Rocket League, League of Legends, Apex, Fortnite, and Warzone. Now, you may be wondering to yourself right now, there are things like PUBG that we had a few people apply for that is not up on the list, as well as Hearthstone. Don't worry, those games are still being played. We'll work around a different bit of a schedule based on interest. We did not have a large number of people that wanted to play in those, and so we're looking at how we can handle that from an internal perspective. But more information on that will come. Perhaps we'll run another round of tickets. I'm not sure. We'll kind of work that out with the team to get all that figured out. Now, the next thing I want to talk about tonight, and this is something that I'm pretty excited about. Riptide, can you return me back to the old Neptune image there for a moment? The next thing that I want to talk about that I'm pretty excited is about how we will be streaming all of these qualifiers and how we're going to be running them. Well, the first piece is that we're going to be working with a couple of different servers that are here and part of the Aquatic community. One of those is, as you all know, Astro Ducks, who is a fantastic R6 coach that loves what he does and is going to be assisting us in the Aquatic Qualifiers for Rainbow Six Siege. But not only that, we're also looking to work with service like Vanguard to handle some of the additional games in partnership to really make sure we give you all the best experience that's humanly possible. And we're really, really excited to bring that to you. But you might be asking, well, how are we going to be streaming this? And you know what? That's a fantastic question. We wanted to figure out the best way to bring attention to your channels, right? This Aquatic is all about growing your channels, growing your viewership, making you bigger and better. And so we sat down as a team and really tried to figure out how can we not only stream all of these great games and bring attention to the Aquatic Qualifiers, but bring in attention to all of these small channels. And I have what I think is a fantastic answer. Give me 1 second here while I pull it up, and we will dive in to our secret weapon. Alrighty here, let me click my magic button as this loads up. So what we're going to be doing, y'all, we are going to be multi-streaming the entirety of the event. Riptide, can you pull me up a nice screen over here? Alrighty, y'all. As you may see on my screen to the right here, my magical screen of Neptune glory, is multiple streams rolling through one. We have Stixels, who's on a quick break right now, and we've picked a bunch of people out of the aquatic community tonight to show off over here on the right side. You may notice some of these fantastic fellows. We have Strywix, Striggs is up there, we have Duncan, right? And the great thing about all of these is we're going to be streaming off, showing off every one of the streamers who's playing in these qualifier events, right? So we're going to dive in. We'll be live commentating from a screen that looks very similar to this. So you can see all of the people in action at once. And don't worry, we can bring up as many screens as we need to here. If there's 50 of y'all qualifying, we'll have 50 screens flying over here on the right side while we're talking about the action. And as we dive through this and we're talking about individuals, we will also be going through and pulling up individuals in full screen, right? So we'll go through and bring up Striggs, we'll bring up Duncan, we'll bring up everyone there so you can actually see some of the fine-tuned glory as we look into those individual players. So I'm pretty excited to get this up and running here for this season's qualifiers. Now, and there's games when I get it, you don't want to see people competing and you don't want to see people cheating, right, and looking at streams and see what the enemy team is doing. Riptide is all about that stream delay nowadays, y'all. So we will be streaming from a stream delay here in headquarters. So you'll just see the things that are the most important to you. So that's a little bit about that and how streaming is going to work. Riptide, you can return me back to the fantastic Neptune screen. All right, guys. So that is this season's qualifiers. Again, we're looking at a whole month of action. It is going to be a blast. Again, everything starts right here. Well, technically not right here, over there at twitch.tv/Aquatik Esports on Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time as we dive into Rainbow Six Siege. Again, we are looking for fantastic people to fill the ranks of the aquatic leagues. Now, one last thing to talk about tonight before I answer a couple of questions and we wrap up the stream. Leagues, how are they changing? Is anything different? What's going on here? Well, yes and no, right? So going into our new season, one of the things that really makes these leagues exciting is we are working with other companies and advertisers and big organizations who are looking to have esports events in an instant, right? And the way that we are going to help them solve their needs is ready-made teams to rock and or roll, right? And the kind of whole plan here is that we'll have leagues depending on the type of game that they're looking to host and the type of event that they're looking for, whether it's internal, whether it's external, whether it's a combination of our teams and their teams, all our teams, right? And when they want those events, we'll have these leagues that are ready to rock and roll and play to large-size audiences, small-size audience, medium-size audience. Not only that, but of course, our fantastic esports managers are going to be putting together internal aquatic teams as well for you to be able to battle it out amongst your aquatic friends in are inside games, in invitationals, in opens, all the things that you may have heard me talking about in firesides over the past couple of weeks. And so again, we're really, really excited to dive into all of this and show all that off at the end of this qualifier period. Now, the last thing to say is our season officially starts in October. So we will get these wrapped up. And if I am not mistaken, let me click here. We wrap up all of our qualifier games on the 18th of September. We'll be making an announcement in probably the third week of September of all of the new placees and where they will be sitting in the aquatic esports leagues, so we can get our streams and our tournaments started off right in early October again. And at that point, Florida is out of hurricane season pretty much. It's about wrapping up at that point. We got a little ways left, but we're mostly out of it, so we shouldn't have any delays, no sorts of things to scare us in the meantime as things are coming through now. But don't worry, we'll be ready to rock and or roll with all of you in your fantastic games coming in October. So y'all, again, thanks for coming out tonight. I'm pretty excited to get all this kicked off on Wednesday. You'll find all of our setups are going to be very similar to how we are tonight. If you've dove into one of our tournaments before, whether it's the community mashup or whether it is one of our nightly tournaments that we've started so far with Rainbow Six Siege, someone will be standing here in our esports desk. It may be me, it may be Riptide, it may be someone else entirely from floating around in the community. But we'll give a little bit of information, we'll get the names and all the players kicked off, and then we'll turn it over to a community commentator to talk about what's going on through the games. Those of you that are wondering, yes, it will be Call Me Wolverine for Valorant this coming Friday. He's excited and ready to rock and roll to talk us through those qualifiers. And then we'll wrap up here in the esports arena. Our team will get to work at making sure we determine where everyone fits in their placements, and we'll be ready to go by the end of the month. So it should be a blast. Now, y'all, I'm going to pull up the Twitch chat here for a moment, and I'll answer any questions that might be on your mind about qualifiers before we get going tonight. Shadow Knight, what did you miss? It is going to be a blast. Qualifiers start on Wednesday, and actually, let me bring this up 1 second here. Let's see, Riptide, before I go into questions, can you bring my fancy dancy screen up for me one more time? Yeah. Y'all, I know there's been a few people that have tuned in. I just want to talk through the schedule one more time, and then I'll jump back to my questions. And meanwhile, while we're finishing this up, LV, if you can find us a fantastic raid target to dive into. So again, this week, y'all, we have Rainbow Six Siege on Wednesday and Valorant on Friday, both at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Next week, we are doing Friday and Saturday with Call of Duty at 7 o'clock on Friday and Overwatch at 11 a.m. Saturday. The following week, we are diving in to Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday with Paladins and Rocket League, both at 7 o'clock, and League of Legends at 11 o'clock on Saturday. Finally, we're wrapping everything up the final week with Apex, Fortnite, and Warzone at 7 o'clock each night. Again, aside from this schedule, we're going to be doing this fantastic multi-stream style, so we'll have all of the streamers live here, there, at twitch.tv/Aquatik Esports. We'll be diving into various players, showing them off. We'll be talking about all the things that are going on, both with community commentators and here with our staff, and it is going to be a really fantastic time. All right, I saw some questions starting to float through. Riptide, you can return me back to the old Neptune screen while I get these questions fired up. Astrodux, you absolutely are casting for that Wednesday tournament. I'm sure we'll get some details, the rest of the details, over to you very shortly on that. Let's see. Explo, can you shout out the King of the Hill for Valorant starting most likely Saturday this week, trying to work around qualifiers? Absolutely, Explo. If you haven't checked that out, head to our Discord and look in the announcements section. Explo has posted, or Elvie has posted, a whole bunch of information on his behalf. It looks like an absolute blast. And again, all of that is found in the Aquatic Discord under announcements. You'll see it right above my announcements tonight, and you can learn all about it. Aquatic Venom, how come there have been no Fortnite vids in top plays? It's been Valorant and other stuff, and it doesn't feel like a rotation of different video games. That's a really great question, Aquatic Venom. Look, a lot of our top 5 plays originally were picked by recruiters and are now being picked by the community editor who's diving in. Everyone seems to have different tastes and different feels, and it's really what stands out to them to be those top plays. But I would assume that we will see more Fortnite here in the future. If you don't make the league you signed up for, can you still make it to a lower league? Absolutely, Wavy. So we look and analyze everyone that plays, and if we find that they would be a good fit for one of our other leagues and didn't make the one they're qualifying for, we will get them placed somewhere else. Pingin, shouting out to Key Lime and LV. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. Fantastic, both of them. Key Lime is a wonderful moderator that is always all over the Discord, keeping people happy. And LV, our community manager, I see her literally everywhere. It doesn't matter the chat that I go in there, I always tend to see her killing it. And thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks to all of our moderators and all the support team here at Aquatic Esports that makes this work. We have a massive team full of managers, full of marketers, full of community support, of moderators, of editors. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone that's part of the Aquatic Esports family that makes all of this possible. When will the next creator recruitment wave happen? Ribbity Flip, that is happening this month. It will probably, well, I say this month, but I technically probably mean September, which is next month. So this month and next month, it's all 1 month. It'll probably be in September, right around the same time that the new league players are going to announce. Are we getting emails for qualifiers soon? Yes, Key Lime, all that should come out tomorrow morning with exact instructions on how you'll be playing in your game and the information that we need in order for you to be successful for your qualifier games. How's the point system going to work determining how people are placed on teams? Great question, Urban Owl. We have a proprietary system on our back end that we look through that looks at all sorts of information, right? It's not just kills. We're looking at headshot percentage. We're looking at weapon choice. We're looking at the placements, right? The way you're supporting your team, because we're looking at people who play healers or supports versus just the DPS, right? It really just depends on the game and how it's rolling through. But at the end of that, our team puts all that together to get it rocking and rolling. Thanks so much. What platform will Overwatch qualifiers be on? Most things are happening on PC, but we do have some console support mixed in there as well. Alrighty, everybody. Elvie, do you have me lined up with a raid target for this evening? Around what time do you think most games will be happening? We have put that out. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on every weekday, and if it is a weekend, it is at 11 a.m. Alrighty, Elvie, I have that set up. Let me get that going here. Oh, well, that would explain it. 1 second all. I did not have permission to perform that action because I am in the wrong chat window. And I've done it this time, everybody. I am good to go. Raid, boom, here we are. Alrighty, everybody, we're getting ready to dive into that raid. Thank you for coming out and getting ready to dive into our qualifiers that start this week at Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and carry out through the entire month of September. I cannot wait to dive into this, hear our community commentators in action, and see you all through the new multi-stream platform. Again, I hope you all have a fantastic night. As always, I'm Neptune, and I'll see you in the arena.